welcome back to Just Crafting Around. What this segment is going to be about Halloween. We're going to do 2 segments on it, and the show will be continued. What we're going to do is we are going to be working on some dollar store crafts. I purchased this pail. It was $1, and I purchased it at the Target bin, the Target dollar bin. This here box is an open box where you can open the lid. I purchased this at Hobby Lobby, and it was $2 and some cents, and I got it 50% off. I purchased this pumpkin right here at the dollar store. The other things you're going to need are paint. We're going to use some glitter, and we're going to finish off with the word boo. So you need a letter and some glitter. The different colors of paint. We're going to be painting this orange for a jack-o'-lantern, and we're going to paint this white, and what we're going to use is some cheesecloth then to make it look like a mummy. So I am going to give this a coat of white paint, and I may have to coat it more than once because I don't want the cheesecloth to show through and show the brown. So that's why we're going to paint this white. And again, this is going to be painted orange, and this is going to be painted white to match this. I did purchase some eyes. I purchased some colored eyes, and I purchased just some regular eyes. You're also going to need a glue gun because we're going to glue the stuff on there. Your wax paper, so to cover your table. So we're going to use the wax paper when we paint, and of course your paints, different size brushes that you're going to use. I did use the sponge brush when I painted most of this. I did find that it works better, so we're going to use the sponge brush. And I also have a tray where we put our paint in. And as always, don't forget the coffee. Okay, let's get started. I like fall and I like Halloween. I like both of those. I also found some really cool ribbon at Hobby Lobby. They were $1 a piece, and I got those 50% off as well because it was during Halloween. So kind of wanted to decorate the pumpkins a little bit more. These actually, I coated those 3 times is what it took for that with the white. I really added a lot of paint to them when I started out. I put it on quite heavy, and I did have to coat it. What I didn't do is I didn't coat the bottoms very much. I just gave them 1 or 2 coats because, as you can see, when they sit, you can't see the bottoms anyway. Whoops. And with this right here, what was kind of nice is you can put candy in any of these and use them as decorations, and you can also hand them out later then to the kids if they come for trick-or-treating. You can still take the cover off of this and put the candy in here and just set the cover to the side. And these ideas I did find on Pinterest. So we're going to get started painting. What I used here was the white acrylic. It's called Warm White, and that's what I used for the pumpkin. And that's what we're also going to use for the mummy. Like I said, I wanted to use, we're going to cut the strips from the cheesecloth. And when you cut the strips from the cheesecloth really shows through. So most of our time is going to be spent on painting. But I did want to show you some neat things that you could do with just some dollar store items. Or the dollar bins. Nowadays, a lot of the major chain stores and stuff have dollar bins, which is nice. Because if I want to buy my granddaughter something, a lot of times I will just go to the dollar bin and pick something out for them, because nowadays it seems like kids have everything. And it's hard to find something that they don't already have. Us grandpas and grandmas, we like to spoil those grandkids. So if your grandkids are anything like mine, they have everything already. And my granddaughters love to do crafts. Love to do arts and crafts. And it does keep them busy. And this is some stuff that they can do as well. They can do all the painting for you. And then you can do the decorating together with them. And like I said, this is going to take some time because you need to put on extra coats of paint. A lot of times one coat just isn't going to quite do it. You're going to have to do several coats. And again, it's your desired look. If you like some of the orange coming through, or quite a bit of the orange, then you don't have to put on quite as many coats. And you don't have to paint them white either. You can paint them any color that you want. I have seen quite a few of them painted black, and then they use a stencil instead of actually using a letter like what we're going to be doing. Or you could freehand it, or like I said, you could use a stencil and stencil it on. Whatever you want to do. And again, like I said, I just touch the bottom with one coat is what I do. Because it doesn't need to be coated all the way, but I do it with one coat. Okay. That will let set and we'll let that dry. And now we're going to go on to our next one. I'll need more paint. It's nice because we have two things that are white, so I don't have to go and wash my brush and start over again. And we'll have to see once this dries if it looks like there's quite a bit of brown showing through yet, and if it is, we'll give it another coat. And if it isn't, one coat will just do. I'm not good at freehanding. I generally like to have stencils of some sort. And you can actually make your own stencils if you go online. Nowadays you can Google just about anything and you can print it out, use heavier paper, or you can go to the craft stores now and you can get, instead of the paper, you can get plastic, and you can use the plastic. On this box I try to go the same way, so that your brush strokes are the same way. Like I said, we're going to wait until all this dries. As you can see, with the one coat of white on the pumpkin, you can still see quite a bit of the orange coming through. We're going to want to coat that. The next one will be a pretty heavy coat. And it'll be your desired consistency of how you want it. And of course, when you go to the store, if you're looking for white paint, there are so many different colors of white paint that you can get. If you think that you're going to go and just be able to pull off a white, it's not going to happen. You look and decide which color of white that you want. There's whitewash, there's antique white, there's, of course, this white, again, we're using what's called warm white. It's the Americana brand. And all the different craft stores have the different brands that they use, and there's so many out there. There's folk art, there's all different kinds. You could also use chalk paint if you wish. I don't like to use the chalk paint because chalk paint is more expensive than what this acrylic paint is. So I'm going with the cheaper brand. And this does dry very fast. Within minutes you can turn around and give it the second coat. I do the top, but I do not do the inside of this, because generally you're going to have this closed anyway. So now we're going to set that to the side and we're going to let that dry.
Valley Telecommunications is pleased to announce that our Technology Solutions Center is fully stocked and open for business. We have a large selection to meet your wants and needs. Some of the items we currently carry are a variety of corded and cordless phones, different brands of tablets such as Kindle Fires and Apple iPads and all the accessories for them, Telekin computers, Epson and HP printers and ink cartridges, Apple iPods and accessories, office supplies, wireless keyboards and mice, cellular phones and accessories, different types of media storage, cameras, headphones, power strips and surge protectors, and much, much more. You can also get your very own Valley swag. Our prices are reasonable and comparable to any other retail store. If there is something that you want or need that we do not currently carry, please let us know so that we can check into it for you. We accept all major credit cards, cash or check. Please feel free to stop by our office and check out our new and improved store for all of your technology and day-to-day business needs.
Now what we're going to do is we are going to take this little pail. This is going to be our jack-o'-lantern. I like to take the price tag off, but some of these price tags don't come off real well. I guess we don't really care if it's got the tag on there or not. Now with this one, I did white on here. I took a stencil and I traced around it with a pencil, and then I used the black and I made a little ghost out of it. And again, you can use this for decoration. You can take and you can put the candy in there and set that out. I didn't do the handle. I didn't paint the handle on here, nor did I paint in the inside of this, because I wanted to show the galvanized part of it, make it look somewhat rustic. Okay, now we're going to go with our orange paint. And again, if you go to shop for orange, there's going to be lots of different colors of orange. You have to take the orange that you liked. I try to get as close to a pumpkin orange as what I could. And that's not as easy as it sounds either. Because again, several different kinds out there. Excuse me. Coffee. It's wonderful. This is going to take several coats as well, because as you can see here, you can put it on as heavy as you want, but it doesn't always coat it real well. So you're going to have to do more than one coat on here. But again, it'll dry fast. You can come back once it's dried. You can see where you need to put more. And while it's drying, you can get your other things ready. More with this kind of a craft, this is going to be more wait time than anything. Patience. Patience. Which sometimes I don't have a lot of. I did notice when I was in Hobby Lobby, they already had the different colors of pails that they had already painted, and they looked really, really nice. But I thought, what fun is that? And they were like $1.49, and this was $1. I didn't see any fun in that, because then all you would be doing is putting a face on there. But again, it's just some different ways, some less expensive ways that you can make some decorations for Halloween. Plus you can keep your kids busy, your grandkids busy. You can keep everybody busy. things here. I'm going to get the top a little bit. We've got a lot of things here that we're going to have to dry, let dry, and then give it some more coats. And again, it's your preference as to what you want to do. If you want to, how to decorate this, if you'd like to put like a ribbon on here. I did use different ribbon and stuff here, but you can also get the tape, the different decorations of tape that they have. You can purchase that. You can apply it to the pumpkins, or like I said, you can put a ribbon on here. You can take a ribbon if you want this to look more girlish. You could take a ribbon and put it here and have it look like a bow. So many different things that you can do. You can use cans. You can use soup cans instead of little pails like this. You can take the label off and actually paint them and use them. And again, a lot of this stuff that was found, I did find it on Pinterest. We're going to let this dry, and then we will be back and we will be giving this more coats, and we can start decorating.
Pick your promo, sign up for high-speed internet, and get an iPad mini for only $60, plus get $60 in Valley Bucks. Or sign up for HD DVR from Valley Video and get $60 in Valley Bucks. Take advantage of these great promotions in honor of Valley being around for the last 60 years. Call 437-2615 today.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
Welcome back to Just Crafting Around. We are now done putting on several coats of paint to the three things that we're going to be working with here. So we are going to work on one thing at a time. We're going to put this to the side, and we are going to be working on the pumpkin. You can make and color these however you want to color them. I decided to go with white because I do like the white pumpkins. You can do so much more with them, and they do show off really well. I did use the wood lettering for these, so we will continue to do that because my freehand is not very good. So here's the other O, and what we're going to do with that is we are going to use the purple paint. I used the purple paint, and then while the paint was still wet, I came along with the glitter and I put the glitter on, and then when it dries, the glitter will stick to this. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to paint this purple for the one time, and the second time we come across it, then we will put the glitter on it. I like glitter. I like sparkle. So we're going to paint the front. We're going to paint the sides of it. And we're going to set it to the side and let it dry, which of course it is not going to take very long for it to dry. This paint does not take long at all. And then what we'll do is we will continue to work on more projects. This one here is a little more, like I said, time consuming than the other ones are. So we'll set that to the side and let that dry. When it's all dry, we will give it a second coat. And then we'll turn around and we will put the glitter on it. I'm going to attempt this here. I painted it 3 times. It's a little rustic, but I kind of like that look. I'm not going to paint over it again. 3 times seems to be the charm. The thing about when you're using paint and you're painting a pail like this, what I would do is you have to let it dry completely before you put your next coats on, because what it does is it actually takes the paint off of it if you don't let it dry thoroughly. So let it dry really, really good between each coat. Okay, so I am going to freehand the jack-o'-lantern on here, the mouth and the eyes. Now you could use these eyes right here, the ones that I did purchase that are on this right here. But I think what we're going to do is, because it is the jack-o'-lantern, I don't want to use round eyes. So I'm not going to use these for that one. I'm actually going to use it for the mummy though that we're going to do. Okay, so let's get some paint. And being I'm going to attempt, and I do say attempt, to freehand this. I'm not a very good artist. I'm going to use a thinner brush because I'm going to draw it on first. And again, if you don't like to freehand, you can turn around and you can actually you can get all kinds of stencils nowadays. You can actually go on the internet and just print it off, get the size, pencil it on. I'm going to try this. I don't normally like to attempt to do it, but I figure I can always have Lisa come in, step in then, and she can freehand. She's very good at freehanding things. Me, not so much. I'm gonna go in. I guess I always keep telling myself that there's not a pumpkin that's perfect. And that's what I keep telling myself. So if I do make a mistake, I can always say, but there's not a perfect pumpkin. I'd like to get the face somewhat even on here. But again, if it doesn't work that way, it doesn't work that way. And I might have an eye a little bit bigger than the other one, or a little smaller than the other one, or not the same shape as the other one. But again, pumpkins are not perfect. Halloween as a kid was always so scary for me because of the ghosts and the ugly looking pumpkins. Some of the pumpkins were scary, but nowadays it's even scarier. Even as an adult, I think it's scary. So now I'm going to attempt a jack-o'-lantern mouth. I'm going to make him smiling. I'm going to make him kind of toothless in the bottom. See, can tell that this is going to be a little more cockeyed than I want. But again, it's not going to be perfect. And I'll ask Lisa, how does this look? And she'll always tell me, it looks good, it looks good. She actually is the one who does the best job on this. Well, it looks like I'll maybe get one tooth in. I'll make him a one-tooth jack-o'-lantern. And that way he won't be so scary for the kids. Actually, by the time I get done with this, he's gonna look like the Joker of Batman. Well, guess what? There he is. Okay, we're going to set him to the side. We are going to let him dry. While he dries, we are going to work on our next little project. Let's take this back. Dry. Like I said, it doesn't take long for this stuff to dry. We're going to give that another coat, and then we are going to put our sparkles on there. We'll finish that off, and then we will go on to the mummy. Okay. I'm going to coat this fairly heavy. I'm not going to coat, we don't need to coat the sides anymore or the inside because that looks pretty good. So I'm going to coat him pretty good. And I try to go the same way then and finish it off with the brush strokes going the same direction. Now, I'm going to open up the glitter. This is some really pretty glitter. I'm going to take it, go like this and dust off the excess. And I'm going to put it to the side and we're going to let it dry. Now the rest of the glitter you can take this top off, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it back in for another use because there's quite a bit of glitter on here. Well, we will take him, put him to the side. And then we're going to put this to the side. And we're going to let the glitter sit here until it is time. So we can take it. Maybe we'll just do that right away. And we'll dump it right back in because we're going to use it again sometime. Don't want to waste anything that can be used. Reused again. And it looks like I got just as much on the table as I did back in here.
Cellular service doesn't have to be scary. 4G LTE is now available with new plans and new phones. Stop by or call Valley today at 437-2615 to see what we have to offer.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
Okay, we have completed what we can complete up to now. Please stop back for the next episode where we will complete our Halloween projects.